Before I dive in, I want to make something clear. This is a first impressions video, not a full review. After my last video on Outward stirred up that community, I've decided to call these what they are. Early thoughts based on my experience so far. With that said, let's talk about Ghostwire Tokyo. Right off the bat, I have to say, I enjoyed this game. The premise is incredibly creative. A mysterious fog sweeps across Tokyo, the population vanishes, and you're left in a surreal city filled with spirits, yokai, and supernatural phenomena. It's engaging from the moment you step into the world. Now, while Ghostwire isn't an open world game in the traditional sense, it cleverly feels like one. The fog works as a boundary limiting where you can go, but it doesn't feel like a technical restraint. Instead, it feels like part of the world's mystery, which is a smart design choice. It feels like it could have been open world if not for this fog, so I really liked that one. Exploration is fun too. One mechanic I really enjoyed was collecting the lost souls and saving them through these strange magical telephone booths. It's unique and it ties into the setting, and it's just satisfying to do. The skill tree, from what I've seen so far, is interesting. I didn't unlock a ton of abilities, but the few I did felt impactful and added variety to the gameplay. Leveling up and investing in those skills gave me something to look forward to beyond just the combat encounters. As for the story, I found it engaging and easy to follow. The notes scattered around the world added extra flavor, and I appreciated that they weren't just giant lore dumps that grind the pacing to a halt. I really hate how a lot of games do this, where they will just leave these notes that are just enormous walls of text that you have to totally stop your gameplay in order to read. And for that purpose, I often don't read them, but in Ghostwire Tokyo, they are short and sweet. It's very nice, actually. They gave just enough context without overstaying their welcome. Now, I do have a couple of gripes. First is the mouse sensitivity. Out of the box, it was absurdly high. I had to turn it down to about 10% just to make it serviceable. Not game-breaking, because you can obviously turn it down, but definitely kind of like a rough first impression. You start out and right out the gate you're like wildly flailing around with your mouse, and obviously you can turn it down, which is something I definitely recommend that you do if you play this game. But second, there are a lot of cutscenes, and don't get me wrong, the story's interesting and the cinematics are well put together, but if the game keeps throwing cutscenes at this pace, I can see it getting frustrating. Sometimes I just want to play without constant interruptions. This is one thing that I loved about Black Mesa, is that it doesn't have any cutscenes. It just kind of tells the story as you progress, and you experience it that way. It's very cool. Overall, though, my first impressions of Ghostwire Tokyo are positive. It's a stylish, atmospheric game with a creative premise and some really fun mechanics. I'll definitely keep playing it to see how the story unfolds and how deep the skill system goes. Thank you so much for watching this first impressions video. I will see you next time, and you need to relax.